The human form has always been more than mere flesh and bone. It serves as a canvas upon which society inscribes its values, fears, and desires. Especially regarding the male body, the text inscribed is replete with inconsistencies, contradictions, and ever-changing ideals. From the ancient world to our current moment, men find themselves navigating through an intricate and often precarious landscape. In ancient Rome, male bodies were sculpted to epitomize muscular strength and grace. Public baths, gymnasiums, and arenas served as male-dominated spaces where nudity was more normative than exceptional. Yet, even within these libertine confines, the Romans expected their citizens to maintain a certain level of dignitas. Gratuitous nudity or overt sexuality had their place but were frowned upon when exhibited outside of particular contexts, such as rituals or athletics. Advance to the Renaissance, an era that similarly revered the human form. Artists like Michelangelo left an indelible mark on our collective appreciation of the male body. Still, Christian morality pervaded societal attitudes towards nudity and sexuality. The human body was a masterpiece, but it was also a vessel of sin that needed to be tempered by modesty and restraint. Crossing the Atlantic to early 20th century America, male nudity and the body were approached with a sort of casual acceptance, especially within male-exclusive domains like locker rooms or swimming pools. Physical education was considered an essential component of a young man's upbringing, occurring in environments where the human form was regarded as just that, a form, neither a political nor an erotic statement. Then comes the cultural upheaval of the 1960s. Sexual liberation movements framed as emancipating women from patriarchal constraints placed men in a paradoxical position. As women grew more sexually liberated, men found themselves re-evaluating their roles. Second-wave feminism began to cast male sexuality as not just assertive but aggressive and domineering. Men increasingly became self-conscious, their bodies and sexual expressions subjected to newfound scrutiny. Parallel to these developments was the rise of sexual identity movements, adding another layer of complexity to societal attitudes toward male bodies and sexuality. Starting predominantly in the latter half of the 20th century, men fragmented into newly invented subgroups defined by specific sexual activities and sexual practices. The formerly cohesive category of manhood splintered into subcultures, each carrying its own set of rules, taboos, and expectations. In this newly complicated landscape, the potential for manipulation and weaponization of these groups became evident. Pre-existing societal biases could be exploited to not only stigmatize specific groups but to govern men more broadly. The fear of association with marginalized or ostracized subgroups became a tool for enforcing behavior beneficial to women and other groups. Consequently, men grew not only less autonomous but also more wary of each other, each a potential liability in the intricate dance of social and sexual identity. The result was a climate of pervasive self-policing. Men began to regulate their actions not solely out of fear of societal judgment but also from concern over association with a stigmatized subgroup. They became both the wardens and the inmates in a complex prison of social norms. Simple, benign physical interactions became laden with existential questions concerning social and professional repercussions. Today, men find themselves ensnared in a labyrinth of conflicting cultural and sexual expectations, where a false step could lead to social or even professional ostracism. The complexity of this situation is not solely a response to external changes, such as feminism or sexual liberation, but also arises from the manufactured categories of manhood that men themselves have compartmentalized themselves into. So, to truly understand the intricate web of modern male sexuality, one must recognize its roots in both external societal shifts and internal fragmentation. Given this long and convoluted history, it becomes less a question of why men today are more conservative and self-conscious about their bodies and sexuality, but rather, why wouldn't they be? Men are the inheritors of fluctuating norms and expectations that have evolved from Roman baths and Renaissance studios to the locker rooms of the early 20th century and the ideological minefields of modern identity politics. The male body has never been just a biological entity but a complex symbol, malleable to the shifting sands of time and culture. Until we acknowledge the entangled realities that define modern male sexuality, we will continue to grapple with misunderstandings about the complexities men face today regarding their bodies and roles in society.
It's a sin, my darling, how I love you, because I know our love can never be. It's a sin to keep this memory of you when silence proves that you've forgotten me. The dream I built for us has tumbled, each promise broken like my heart. It's a sin, my darling, how I love you, so much in love and yet so far apart. Pretend that I can live without you, when deep inside I know that it's a sin. When deep inside I know that it's a sin. It's a sin, my darling.
Much obliged you hopped on board for this snazzy trip through American life in the 1940s and 1950s, all captured through nifty vintage photographs. If this flick's got your motor running, don't be a square. Click on that jolly bucket of bolts to subscribe to the channel for more top drawer content just like this. Wow.